Simply the largest, most expensive, most powerful, and arguably the most controversial dam in all of history. Today, we take you to China.
China is building the world's largest dam in Tibet. In the upper stream of the Brahmaputra, this river flows.
The very terrain that once halted vessels in their tracks has now transformed into a pathway for massive ships to glide across. How could such a feat be achieved? What kind of groundbreaking technology would make this possible? Join us as we dive into this colossal project, which is reshaping an entire region and pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible in infrastructure. Could this combination of hydropower and transport innovation be the key to the future? Stick around to find out. Hydropower in China's energy strategy. Hydropower plays an essential role in China's renewable energy strategy, contributing significantly to the country's efforts to reduce carbon emissions and combat climate change. As one of the world's largest producers of hydropower, China relies on it to meet a substantial portion of its growing energy demands. The country's vast network of rivers, including the Yangtze and the Yellow River, has enabled the construction of some of the world's largest hydropower projects, helping China become a global leader in renewable energy production. Hydropower serves as a key component of China's overall energy mix, alongside solar and wind power, allowing the nation to gradually shift away from fossil fuels. China's focus on hydropower is driven by its goals to achieve energy security, reduce air pollution, and lower greenhouse gas emissions. With massive energy needs due to its population and industrial base, China has made hydropower a central part of its strategy to increase the share of renewable energy in its overall energy portfolio. It also allows the country to take advantage of its natural topography and river systems, which offer ideal conditions for building large dams and power stations. As the global demand for clean energy rises, China's hydropower sector has grown in prominence as a model for large-scale renewable energy projects that offer both environmental and economic benefits. The hydropower initiatives entirely suit China's commitments to international obligations to decarbonize, with global energy sustainability actively discussed in international agendas. China's own showcase of hydropower technologies becomes the solution for large, clean energy production, such as the Three Gorges Dam, Baihetan Dam, and Gupatan Dam in China are some of the most advanced engineering marvels in renewable energy generation. These are projects that not only suffice but also serve the world's sustainable future by providing alternatives to coal and other non-renewable energy sources. However, the social and environmental impacts of this impressive hydropower wonder are hotly debated in China. Construction of large dams and hydropower stations will normally require flooding extensive areas with the attendant displacement of communities and disturbance to ecosystems. China has now advanced a program of strict environmental regulations and ecological restoration designs for the affected areas. Thus, hydropower remains the mainstay of renewable energy in China as it balances energy demands with the country's sustainability goals and economic growth ambitions. And when it comes to pushing the limits of engineering, one hydropower project takes it to a whole new level by merging energy with transportation in a way you've never seen before. Top hydropower projects in China. China is home to some of the world's most impressive and influential hydropower projects, with the Three Gorges Dam standing out as the most iconic. Located on the Yangtze River, it is the largest hydropower station globally, both in terms of installed capacity and power generation. With a capacity of over 22,500 megawatts, it produces more than 100 terawatt-hours of electricity annually, which helps supply power to large portions of the country, including major cities like Shanghai. The Three Gorges Dam is a symbol of China's engineering prowess and commitment to renewable energy, and its sheer scale makes it a crucial part of China's energy strategy. Another remarkable hydropower project is the Baihetan Dam, which holds the title as the second largest hydropower station globally. located on the Jinsha River in southwestern China. The Baihetan Dam boasts an installed capacity of 16,000 megawatts. Its construction involved complex engineering challenges, such as tunneling through mountains and managing the region's seismic activity. Baihetan is crucial for stabilizing power grids in the southwestern and central regions of China, providing energy to regions that historically suffered from power shortages. This project further cements China's position as a leader in hydropower generation. Another very impressive hydropower station with respect to not only capacity, but also innovative support infrastructures is the Gupatan Dam alongside the Wujiang River in the province of Guizhou. The Gupatan hydropower station generates energy using 3,000 megawatts of installed capacity and is still the world's largest shiplift system. This system is supposed to be used to bypass the dam and river ships so that they can continue navigating the river. Renewable power generation and advanced transport infrastructure thus together prove the capacity of China to harmonize energy creation and logistics. Finally, these three hydropower stations might stand on a significant portion of the energy capacity for the country in the future, with regard to not just continuous energy but also renewable energy. Not just to the world do they show how competent China is in availing itself of its natural resources for the development of this country, but they also demonstrate how much effort China puts into developing technologies and methods to counter all geographical and environmental challenges. These projects depict how hydropower is central to China's energy. The Gupatan shiplift, located at the Gupatan hydropower station, stands as one of the largest and most impressive examples of this technology. It consists of a multi-stage vertical system that enables ships to ascend a massive 199 meters, equivalent to the height of a 66-story building. This lift system allows vessels traveling on the Wujiang River to bypass the Gupatan Dam, which would otherwise impede navigation due to the extreme height difference between the upstream and downstream water levels. The shiplift works by using large, water-filled chambers to raise and lower ships with the help of a series of cables and gears, efficiently moving ships between the lower and upper reaches of the river. All other shiplift systems in China are based on the same concept but put in a position according to their geographical features existing in that locality. These systems have worked wonders for inland shipping networks because they have always found either too steep or simply wouldn't take less time than the time it would take a lock to complete passage of the ship. For the traditional methods like locks to be feasible, through advanced engineering designs, China has converted non-navigable areas into active water transport routes, thus making water transport even more convenient and less reliant on land transport systems such as trucks and railways. Shiplifts will not only make transport more efficient, they will also be key to the overall infrastructure modernization program in China to modernize its inland waterways and make the freight flows in the interior of the country smoother. These systems enhance the economic opportunities for remote regions linked to such waterways with more extensive inland ones, and by minimizing the truck travel, they lead to more sustainable development, since emissions from trucks are very carbon-intensive. Therefore, shiplifts lend themselves to being an important and emerging piece of the infrastructure evolution as traffic increases for cleaner, more efficient transport modes. An engineering marvel, the Gupatan shiplift, located at the Gupatan hydropower station on the Wujiang River, is a groundbreaking engineering achievement that enables vessels to bypass a dramatic elevation difference of 199 meters. This enormous lift system is a prime example of China's innovative approach to overcoming geographical challenges. The shiplift comprises 3 vertical stages, each designed to raise and lower vessels with precision. The ship enters a large water-filled chamber, and using a combination of cables, gears, and hydraulics, it is raised or lowered through each stage, effectively allowing ships to traverse the dam's high water barrier with minimal delay. What sets the Gupatan shiplift apart is its massive scale and efficiency. With a lifting Capacity capable of handling vessels weighing up to 500 tons, the system is essential for maintaining the flow of goods and services along the Wujiang River, especially in a region with rugged terrain that would otherwise make water transportation nearly impossible. The lift operates with an incredible degree of precision, ensuring that vessels are moved smoothly and safely even in challenging environmental conditions. This type of engineering sophistication not only addresses local transportation issues, but also showcases China's ability to push the boundaries of modern infrastructure. For granting access to that country, there was an engineering-wise challenge involved in building this shiplift. First could be the major height difference between the waters upstream as well as downstream required engineering skills in developing a multi-stage lift system capable of operating within the natural landscape and ensuring safe shipment. When raising it, the lift precision which is maintained within a plus or minus 10 mm tolerance is thus another testimony to excellence in Chinese engineering. Besides that, the integration into the larger hydropower station so that it can be used without compromising its function in the generation of power makes the whole project not only effective but also sustainable. Gupatan shiplift is an engineering wonder of the modern age. It is also a wonder of economics, as it cuts time and cost incurred by vessels when importing goods through the Wujiang River by very many times. This infrastructure lifts the prospects of energizing the economy of the region, besides ensuring that inland shipping routes critical for the future advancement of remote areas remain open. Such a development is testimony to how large-scale engineering can come to solve what appear to be multiple needs, transforming hostile topography to economic powerhouses while remaining a flag-bearer of sustainable development and technology. Evolution of infrastructure projects in China. China's infrastructure has undergone a remarkable transformation over the past few decades, evolving from basic transportation networks to world-class projects that set the standard for the global engineering community. In the 1950s and 1960s, the country's infrastructure was limited, primarily focusing on basic roads, bridges, and railways. The lack of modern technology and resources made it difficult for the country to keep up with industrialized nations. However, beginning in the 1980s with economic reforms, China began investing heavily in infrastructure, driven by the need to support its growing population and rapidly expanding economy. This shift marked the beginning of a new era of large-scale, high-tech infrastructure development. By the 2000s, China's commitment to building world-class infrastructure became more evident. The country invested in massive projects like the high-speed rail network, which has become the largest in the world. The construction of the Three Gorges Dam, one of the largest hydropower projects in the world, also symbolized China's ambition to be at the forefront of technological innovation. These infrastructure advancements were not only aimed at improving domestic logistics and connectivity but also at bolstering China's role on the global stage. By employing cutting-edge engineering techniques, the country has been able to overcome significant geographical challenges, from mountain ranges to vast rivers, to create transportation networks that span the entire country. Unlike many countries in the world, as China continues to revolutionize infrastructure, one project stands out not just for its scale, but for its profound impact on the economy of a once isolated region. The economic impact of the Gupatan shiplift. The Gupatan shiplift plays a crucial role in enhancing trade and economic activity, particularly in Guizhou province, which is often considered a more remote and economically underdeveloped region of China. By connecting Guizhou to the Yangtze River via the Wujiang River, the shiplift facilitates faster and more efficient transport of goods, reducing the reliance on overland transportation routes that are often slow and costly due to the challenging mountainous terrain. This improved access to one of China's most important waterways allows for a more streamlined flow of raw materials, manufactured goods, and agricultural products, boosting the region's economic potential and integrating it more closely into the national economy. Before the introduction of the shiplift, shipping along the Wujiang River was limited by the dam, which created a massive elevation difference that required slow and complex detours. With the Gupatan shiplift, vessels can bypass the dam quickly, cutting down on travel time. Significantly, this reduction in transit time lowers transportation costs, making goods more affordable and competitive in both domestic and international markets. Additionally, it increases the overall efficiency of the region's supply chains, helping businesses in Guizhou to expand their operations and access broader markets, both within China and globally. The Gupatan shiplift has, economically, every benefit from job creation and regional development. In fact, the construction and running of the lift have afforded work to thousands of locals not only in hydropower and shipping but in supporting industries such as logistics, engineering, and tourism, thus becoming a massive multiplier. With better access to the trading routes, the area has further attracted investments for infrastructure and industries, which have thus impacted the regional economy for its development further. On a higher scale of integration, the construction of the Guizhou will serve as a broader shipping network for the Yangtze River, motivating another set of accelerative driving forces into the establishment of new emerging industries and urbanization so that the living standards of people are developed on different fronts. Moreover, Gupatan shiplift, apart from its varied local economic benefits, serves the national economic interest by strengthening China's aspirations to improve its internal logistics network. Besides serving Guizhou as a transportation hub, the lift fortifies the chances for optimizing China's internal trade routes, an endeavor that enhances the efficiency of China's national economy. Besides regional development considerations, the Gupatan lift also meets the burgeoning need for efficient freight transport infrastructure, a significant propellant of growth for China and global competitiveness. Environmental considerations. While hydropower projects like the Gupatan Dam provide significant benefits in terms of clean energy production, they also bring environmental challenges that must be addressed. One of the most prominent environmental concerns is the impact of large dams on local ecosystems. The construction of such dams often leads to the flooding of vast areas, submerging forests, agricultural land, and even entire communities. This disrupts wildlife habitats, displaces species, and alters the natural flow of rivers, which can have cascading effects on local ecosystems. Additionally, the accumulation of water behind the dam can affect fish migration and water quality, which may disrupt aquatic life and the livelihoods of people who rely on these waterways for fishing and farming. To mitigate these impacts, China has implemented various measures in its hydropower projects. For instance, the Gupatan Dam project included a focus on minimizing the disruption to the local environment and ensuring that ecosystems were as protected as possible during construction. Efforts to restore ecosystems in the affected areas are integral to the success of these large-scale projects. These measures may include replanting vegetation, creating wildlife corridors to allow animals to migrate safely, and introducing fish ladders or other devices to facilitate the movement of aquatic species. Additionally, hydropower plants are increasingly designed with environmental sustainability in mind, taking care to integrate renewable energy generation with efforts to preserve local biodiversity. Moreover, China has well laid out comprehensive environmental regulations for hydropower development, including environmental impact assessments to be done before project approval. These assessments would determine the whole range of environmental effects and measures taken to mitigate adverse effects. China attempts to balance energy needs and environmental protection by improving engineering methods and restoration efforts. This was done not just to maximize the benefits from hydropower energy production, but more importantly to protect the long-term livelihood of nature. However, even with such efforts, complete avoidance of the environmental impacts of hydropower is impossible. Additionally, the accumulation of water behind the dam can affect fish migration and water quality, which may disrupt aquatic life and the livelihoods of people who rely on these waterways for fishing and farming. To mitigate these impacts, China has implemented various measures in its hydropower projects. For instance, the Gupatan Dam project included a focus on minimizing the disruption to the local environment and ensuring that ecosystems were as protected as possible during construction. Efforts to restore ecosystems in the affected areas are integral to the success of these large-scale projects. These measures may include replanting vegetation, creating wildlife corridors to allow animals to migrate safely, and introducing fish ladders or other devices to facilitate the movement of aquatic species. Additionally, hydropower plants are increasingly designed with environmental sustainability in mind, taking care to integrate renewable energy generation with efforts to preserve local biodiversity. China's hydropower project sector is equipped with some very thorough environmental regulations, including EIA, which allows a prior environmental impact assessment before project approval. EIAs ensure that there is full knowledge of the full range of environmental impacts and that steps are taken to mitigate adverse effects. On one hand, by sound investments to engineering practice and ecological restoration, China wants to balance energy demands with environmental protection. The other way, I suppose, could be sticking a big conservation contract on the major benefits of hydropower to energy production while also ensuring the long-term welfare of the natural habitat. Even so, there will always remain some lingering environmental impacts that cannot completely be avoided, with the advantages of clean, renewable energy on one side and the disturbances of huge dam constructions on the other. China is trying to keep on improving its approach to hydropower development, coming up with creative solutions to cater to both the environmental crisis and the potential energy crisis. The balancing act henceforth for the country remains to harmonize sustainable energy development with sustainable natural resource conservation, thereby ensuring hydropower remains environmentally friendly in the overall configuration of its energy future. China's global infrastructure leadership. China has rapidly emerged as a global leader in infrastructure development, extending its influence far beyond its borders through ambitious projects across Asia, Africa, and even parts of Europe. The country's expertise in large-scale construction, particularly in transportation, energy, and water management systems, has allowed it to spearhead significant international projects. This leadership is a direct result of China's enormous investment in domestic infrastructure over the past few decades, which has given it the experience, technological know-how, and financial backing to take on major global initiatives. For instance, the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, stands as a monumental example of China's strategy to build critical infrastructure in countries that are in need of modern transport, energy, and communication systems. One of the key areas where China has made its mark internationally is in hydropower development. By offering financing, technology, and expertise, China has helped build some of the world's largest hydropower plants in countries like Ethiopia, Pakistan, and Laos. Projects such as the Meru Dam in Sudan and the Karo hydropower station in Pakistan showcase China's ability to apply its extensive knowledge of hydroelectric systems to diverse geographical and environmental conditions. These projects not only generate renewable energy but also improve local economies by providing reliable electricity to previously underserved regions, while also creating jobs and promoting long-term economic growth. Like most countries, China already proved itself a big player in the world of high-speed rail construction alongside hydropower. Indonesia and Thailand, among Asian countries, got interested in developing advanced rail systems with the help of Chinese firms. China's prestige and capability in building the world's largest network of high-speed rail would prove that it is going to seriously invest in advanced transport technology, not on a small but on a grand scale. Technological advancement and fast-track construction of these projects trace back to China's collective experience in large infrastructural undertakings such as the Gupatan hydropower station and its shiplift Gradually, China has spread its wings beyond the developing world and into the infrastructure area of activity. A part of China's continental reach has given it a good deal of contracts for bridges, tunnels, and roads across Europe. Other continents boast their high presence in their world markets as testimonials of their human capacity for high quality and complicated project delivery, which also preaches development in the host nations. So it is assumed that while China is spreading its influence in the infrastructure world, it would also have a significant role in continuing the impulse for the development of world global infrastructure, technological. Given its capacity to deliver world-class infrastructure projects, China may, in the next phase of global waterway development, be involved in more sustainable shipping network construction that will contribute to the reduction of global shipping emissions. With the increasing demand for cleaner energy and transport solutions, hydropower and water transport systems will be an important vehicle in steering both China and the world towards a greener, sustainable future. If you enjoyed this jaw-dropping look at China's engineering marvel, be sure to hit that like button to show your support. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about this incredible achievement. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more amazing stories and groundbreaking innovations from all corners of the globe. And hey, before you go, take a moment to check out the next video on your screen. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with even more awe-inspiring content.